Hello, Michael Swanson here. I run the website Wall Street Window, and I'm going to talk to you today about what's going on in the gold and silver markets and with the mining stocks. Over the past couple of weeks, we've seen a sharp drop that happened very fast in all this stuff. And if you're involved in these markets, if you own positions in gold, in silver, or in the stocks themselves, you may be nervous about it right now. Because frankly, almost everybody is negative on gold and silver. And many people, in fact, are calling for new lows or even crashes to occur. And I know that in 2012 and 2013, we saw many rallies occur in gold and in silver, and each one of them ended with disappointment and with pain for those that held because they experienced heavy losses. So now, as we've seen these markets pull back once again over the past few weeks, you are probably feeling very nervous about what's happening, and many people are thinking it's more of the same. But I want to tell you it's not. I want to tell you that, in fact, we're making the transition into a brand new bull market. And I want to encourage you and make you understand why I can be so positive in this type of market when everyone else is so doubtful. In fact, if you turn on CNBC right now and watch them talk about gold, you'll almost certainly hear negative talk when they do. I'm, in fact, right now at this moment, one of the very few people on the internet that's bullish on gold and silver. You see, in 2012, I took my money and I invested in Greece and Europe after those markets went through bear markets. In fact, the stock market in Greece crashed in the summer of 2012. Well, I bought and held and made a lot of money in the 2 years that followed. But this February, I liquidated those positions and I moved my money into gold because I see a new bull market starting and emerging that's going to have tremendous upside over the next couple years, even though most people are doubtful at this moment. But you've got to understand how things work. You see, after bear market, everyone just about is negative. And the reason why is because the last bear market has conditioned them to believe that every single rally that they see from now on is false and it's a trap, just like the ones they've seen in the bear market were. And they become conditioned to be fearful whenever they see a down day in the market. And so, doubtful and fearful messages are spread everywhere, when in reality, that's typical of the psychology in the first of three phases of a bull market. At the beginning, everyone, for the most part, is doubtful, and there's widespread skepticism of whether or not a bull market's even beginning. Now, I'm sure if you can think about it, you've experienced these type of markets and situations before. Think back, for example, to 2009. After the stock market crash of 2008, just about everyone gave up on the stock market. And then in 2009, after it bottomed, almost everyone remained bearish for quite some time and didn't adjust to the new market reality and take advantage of it for quite some time afterwards. In fact, I admit myself, I didn't get bullish in 2009 till 3 months after the bottom. But still, that was much earlier than most people did. In fact, the statistics show that the typical American investor took money out of stocks in the years afterwards. More money, in fact, came out of stock mutual funds and flowed into bonds than vice versa. It wasn't until 2012 that the typical American investor started to return into the United States stock market in a big way after it already went up for years. And it isn't until a market goes up for a very long time that the masses get excited. After bear market, they're doubtful, they're fearful, they're scared. And when a new bull market starts, they simply don't believe it because they don't want to experience more vicious losses like they did before ever again. Therefore, as a new bull market starts, most people remain bearish. And as each rally occurs, they doubt it. And as each dip occurs, which is natural in any market, you get the occasional pullbacks and dips. They become fearful. This is where we are now in metals and mining stocks, I believe. And I think what we've seen proves it. Since December, the gold stock ETF GDX went up 35%, and then it had a sharp pullback. During that 35% rally, no one paid any attention to it at all. I didn't see CNBC mention it one single time. And now this pullback happened, and everyone's scared. I've gotten dozens of emails in the past couple weeks from people that think a crash is coming or they're very worried. I think there's a good chance you're worried too and concerned if you're in these markets. I want to tell you not to be, because I believe we're simply still in a basing transition phase between the bear market that happened and the bull market that's right ahead of us. This is light at the end of the tunnel. Take a look at the HUI mining stock index, for example. You can see it clearly has resistance at 250. It went through that level just the other week, and yes, it's come back down. But once it goes to that level and stays above it, then the gold stocks will be fully in a brand new bull market. Now the level to watch on gold itself is 1400. You know when it goes through 1400 the next time, it's going to be in a blast off. And when that happens, this current environment of doubt and fear among gold bugs and gold investors and silver investors and the people in the stocks will essentially be lifted. People will begin to recognize the reality that what's actually happening is a new bull market. That means those in now will reap the biggest rewards and will enter the second psychological phase of the bull market. In the second phase, a market emerges from its bottom, from its resistance base, and begins to go up. As it goes up and rallies, and the weeks go by and the months go by, more and more people begin to see what's going on and understand it. In other words, more people become bullish, more people buy into the market, and the market goes up, and when dips occur, the people who understand things buy and accumulate. In essence, what happens is more people begin to believe in the market. The doubters disappear, the bears vanish, and people begin to make money. These are the market environments which seem to be easy to make money in fact. Right now, I admit, it's hard. It's tough. It's difficult to be in at the beginning when something goes up and then down, and you don't get these giant gains every single day. And everyone you hear is negative and doubtful, and everyone's calling for crashes and bear markets. It's tough to go against the crowd. It's tough to hold and continue to hold when people tell you not to, and they tell you should be buying something else. But that's why bottoms bring great opportunities, and so few people are able to take advantage of them. In fact, what I found is it usually takes a market going up 6 months to a year before it becomes accepted amongst the public that it's really a bull market that they're looking at and not a fake rally or a bear market false trick. I can tell you from experience, if we take a look at the Europe and Greece trades I was involved in, when I first bought them, hardly anyone believed me. In fact, I got email after email from people telling me why I was wrong, why Europe is dysfunctional, why you can never invest there, and so forth. But a year later, after these things all went up a lot, then lots of people became interested. So right now, frankly, I feel like a voice in the wilderness. I feel like I'm one of the very few people bullish on gold and silver. One of the very few people really trying to encourage others to get involved in these markets. because I see the potential in them, because I know when it's a time to buy is when everybody is doubtful. You've got to be a contrarian to really maximize and do the best with your investing. Now, of course, you know what happens in the final phase of a bull market, the third phase of a bull market. That's when things get really manic. That's when you're basically the opposite of fear. And people are so greedy that they literally no longer care what price they pay for something. We saw that in 1999 with internet stocks. We saw that in real estate markets across the United States in 2005 and 2006, when just about everybody had a relative somewhere that wanted to flip houses or buy zero interest rate mortgages in order to buy a house because they thought real estate was just going to go up forever. It's when people think something's going to go up forever after it's already gone up for several years that a manic bubble forms and you get a blow off top. Now, what that means for you, what it means for both of us when it comes to mining stocks, is that the potential return from here at this level, if you look forward to a blow off top in the next couple years, the potential reward is tremendous. You're talking about a potential of 200, even 300% gains in many of the big cap mining stocks. And when it comes to the junior mining stocks, the 10-cent stocks, the right ones could easily go to $1. Some of them will go to $2 or $3. Those are massive returns. And that's the potential in these markets that's there. But so few people are able to take any action right now, even if it's just to hold on to positions they already got, because so much of the sentiment is negative. So much of what you hear in the news is negative too. And in order to be successful, you've got to dismiss all that. And that's a difficult thing to do. It's very tough psychologically to distance yourself from what everyone else is saying and be a doubting Thomas of what other people believe. To be one of the few willing to step forward first in the beginning of a bull market and the end of a stage 1 consolidation phase. It takes a rare ability for an investor to do that. And I want to encourage you not to give up on gold. I want to tell you, don't listen to the doubters and push them aside, and keep your eye on the charts, keep your eye on the prize. It's simple. Look at the chart of the HUI. You can look at the XAU, you can look at the GDX, you can look at the GDXJ, you can look at gold, you can look at silver, you can look at any one of these things, but let's just look at the GDX. They're all basically trading alike, but look at the GDX for sake of argument's sake. You can see clearly where resistance is. You can see where support is. You can see it's trading in between after forming a bottom in December. You can see the rally that took place since December and the recent pullback. That's action that's typical within a basing phase. But when it breaks out of that resistance of this base and completes this transition, it will be in a new bull market. And that's the reality that you need to focus on, not people's opinions, not even my opinion. You focus on the chart, and then you'll understand what's really happening. If you can do that, then you can make your decisions with a clear head in the financial markets. You don't have to worry about what other people are saying. The chart will tell you the story. And if I'm correct, that chart is saying now is the time to accumulate and be in a position so that when a new bull market starts and a breakout comes, you're already essentially in and beginning to reap the rewards. And you can sit there in satisfaction, knowing that more and more buyers are going to come in and drive the market higher and increase the value of your investments in the positions you already got. So let today be a wake-up call for you. I know it's easy to get shaken up a little bit when something declines in value, especially after a bear market has conditioned everybody to be doubtful and to be fearful when declines do occur. But that psychology will shift, and a time will come when investors will become more interested in gold, more interested in silver, and they will pile into the mining stocks and accelerate them higher. And that's the time that you've got to start thinking about and looking forward to. And that's what I wanted to share with you today. So, think about that, and we'll talk again in the future.